Hello, it's me, Sean Taylor, and I'm going to be doing a quick run through of all the screenshots that I took for the magazine and, well, the Animus magazine. So let's get into it then. Okay, so I first started off with the black Animus font. I thought that was quite intricate and it needed to be designed first because then I could start building around it. I had a little while where I was just blank-minded to what it is I want, but the Requiem font actually worked really well with the Animus, and I was quite happy with it. So yeah, then I started to go into a little bit more detail with the Animus font, and I actually changed it to a blue at first. I attempted to go blood red at some point later on to go with the horror theme, but I actually created a really bad background for it to go with the movie magazine. And after a little while of looking at it, I thought this did not work at all. So instead, I actually used that background to go with the poster design, which changed dramatically after that, and this poster was never completed. Um, so I left that and I went straight back to the Animus thing, and I designed another template again. I actually made the Animus less intimidating. I made it red and a little less outliney and cartoonish, and I designed the cloudy, veiny like background, which you can see on screen at the moment, and just put in the selling lines. And I did a couple of beveled effects and everything like that to change the text and to see how it went. After a little while, then I decided we get rid of the cloudy black background, and then decided to go with a green and quite grudgy effect, kind of looked like paintwork, and I thought it actually looked alright for a little while. And I thought it kind of went with the grudgy effect that I wanted. But then I started to get doubts on that. But before I go into that, I actually then started working on like the fine little details, which you'll see on screen right now, where I've got the issue number, the price, and the date that it's released. Essentially, what I did there was I zoomed in and I changed the little effects so then you could actually see these little bits of writing. And I thought that that was quite significant, really, because once I got the layout of this, then I could edit to any form that I wanted, and then I had to go through dramatic changes, and this is where I had the screenshots in before and that, but I hadn't released them because I knew I was going to be making dramatic changes, and I didn't actually get any screenshots from uh, between the green stage to the stage that I'm in now. I'm recording this quite late on, where I've actually redesigned the magazine. Um, but if I show you now, actually, what happened before all that sort of stuff, I actually designed the entire magazine and I gave it more of a grudgy background and that, and was waiting to put in the photo shoot and that. And eventually I changed the background so it looked even more grudgy, from that little pink cloudy thing to actually looking like a stain on a background, and it was quite intricate. But then I kind of didn't like that, so I changed it completely. And I actually went with the blood red Animus, which really sticks out, and then designed some lightning in the background, and I actually put together this little template after deleting most of the original green design, but keeping the selling line and the main selling lines. I actually went on to edit this one for a very long time before actually starting to put the model photos in. Eventually I started working on the model photos, and I chose one specifically for the magazine, which will be on your screen at this time. What I did there to try and get a professional cut out of this was I selected around the model, and it took a little while. I made a little video about like actually creating this, like how to do the masking and everything, and I actually took a little while to do this because I'd never actually done this method before. I tried to do it differently to the simple way of using the auto select tool, which comes with Photoshop. I actually decided to go with the pentagonal lasso, And by doing that, it means that I had to carve around the image of Kate, the model, and I had to make it very rough, but I had to leave enough space that I could edit it out. Eventually then I went on from cutting around and selecting the full image of Kate to then applying a mask layer using the masking tool down on the left hand side of the screen. Once I'd selected Kate, I then applied that and the whole thing turned red. At that point I knew exactly where my background was and where Kate was. So then I actually had to zoom in and do some fine editing to try and select where it is that I needed her to be fine-tuned. So I went on to do some editing about like where it is that it needs to be done. I started using a paintbrush tool to actually select around Kate to get a clearer cut, which actually worked very well for me, especially around the head of the image, because around the head of the image is quite difficult to get because you can always tell whether it's fake or not because the way the hair lies and everything, it doesn't always seem to work. So using that tool, it actually worked very well for me. So I actually used a different image using this method. I'm actually showing you the screenshots which I used for the poster design, I believe. But I actually did the exact same method with the magazine photo, which I thought was quite effective because actually I did it more professionally than the poster one because I actually hadn't... that was my second time of trying it, whereas the poster one was actually my first time. So I actually went... I keep saying actually. So then I went on to putting it into the actual magazine, and I got a nice clearer image than the poster one, because obviously I'd tried it around. And once I'd imported the image and that, I actually went on to do some other different bits of work. I started using guidelines to try and show that I needed to give some more structure to the magazine because it looked a little bit all over the place, and I needed to make sure that it wasn't all like pressed into my model. So then I added some more effects like the glass and that. I made sure they were clearer and kind of went around Kate but didn't actually invade her personal space. It kind of looked effective and I thought that it worked very well. Once I'd done with the guidelines and everything and ordered out the layout, then I had to go on to I actually missed what was that I needed to do there. No, I actually then went on to go and edit the text and it could actually stand out more to the background and to the glass effect. So I actually used not a bevel effect, but I actually used an outer glow, which kind of worked well with the font that I'd chosen because it looked like broken glass in itself and kind of looked distorted, like the grudgy effect that I needed for the magazine. Then eventually I found the whole magazine worked together very well, and recently I've actually just been told that I need to edit this magazine again, so I'll be working on that for a little while. But that's my magazine cover in all, with the screenshots and the little story behind it. Thank you very much.